Evening S&P outlook for the week starting September the 8th. Well, haven't really gone anywhere over the past week. We've just become more volatile. The ranges have become a little bit bigger. You can see as we rallied through August, it was all fairly dull with just steady price rises on most days. But beginning of September, seen that change. More sideways movement and certainly more volatile, bigger ranges. But the levels are working really quite well. We had a high of 2007, 2008 on Friday that was just above our 2006 level, which I think is exactly where we closed, and the 1988 buying opportunity worked perfectly as well. So the levels are working quite nicely intraday if you're just trading your intraday. But direction wise is now looking a little bit tricky. This is potentially a broadening top pattern. I'm not convinced it is. We'll just have to wait and see. But even if it is, it's only a small one, so it doesn't mean anything significant to the downside. It just might mean some profit taking over this week, and we've got some downside targets and support on the reports for that if we do see it. Obviously all-time highs last week made it 2011. That was I think on Wednesday, and we're going to have to nicely clear that in order to continue the next leg higher, and again targets are on the daily report. These two candles not too positive, the spikes higher and the close just below the open, but don't think that's anything too significant. If anything, it just indicates some indecision, and there's a little bit of a battle between bulls and bears right now. The 2000 level is obviously very big psychologically. I've been banging on about that for weeks now, and it does seem to be having an effect. It is creating a bit of a battle there, you can see from this volatility and the fact that we're not really managing to break above the 2000 level convincingly. DAX has been a little bit more interesting last week. 4 days of rallies. The last 4 days have seen some decent strength once we broke above that, back above that 100-day moving average, and then got through the 200-day moving average. So Thursday's price action very positive. Friday we've managed to just edge higher towards that 9800 area, which we had on our sheets as strong resistance, and we certainly haven't been able to break through there yet. So that area will be key again for this week. Getting a little bit overbought, but we have got some catching up to do perhaps with the American markets, and that might be what you're seeing over the last couple of weeks. Obviously that 9800 area is going to be key. If we start getting through 9810, 9820, that's going to help and push the market higher again, but just be wary of a pullback. It looks like we've just got a little bit ahead of itself, and the early part of the week we might see a bit of profit taking. We've got support levels on the sheets. FTSE's a tricky one. Did look good once we've broken these May-June highs around the 68, 75, 80 area, and good performance on Wednesday and Thursday took us up to the 6900 area. 6907 was the high on Thursday, but this couldn't be sustained on Friday. We're back down. We got down as far as 68.28, which is just matching these highs up here at the end of August. So that managed to hold the downside at least. You can see. Just see a little line here would be obvious support and resistance, so that's of course going to be key start of this week. If we break below there, well, we've got some levels to watch for on the reports. Of course last week's high up at that 6900, 6907 area will be important, and we're going to have to break above there if we're going to head for a test of all-time highs.